Eric. So many of us want to write a book. Many people want to write a romance, they want to write the best novel of all time. And then often as business people or entrepreneurs, sometimes coaches or teachers, they want to write a book to show their expertise, to sort of give them credibility of what they've done. I've got a quick story for you. I'm an author, written a bunch of books, and I help other authors get over that main fear of getting started. I had a client, and he was typical in this sense, in that his business was called Simplify. And the whole business process was to simplify the business processes, and you have the complex organization, and you're going to simplify and streamline and all that good simplify stuff, right? And it sounded really good. He talked a good game, and he really knew his topic, and he had clients, and he had business, and he wanted to write a book to showcase all of this expertise. And he was working on it. He's working on it. I've known the guy for I think 2 years now, and he's been working on it. I'm working on it. Working on the book. I'm on my third editor. I'm getting there. We're making real progress. And he was looking at this publisher and then that publisher, and he just needs a few more revisions, because it's not quite perfect yet. And then he just wanted a few more case studies of the Simplify process to make that through. Yeah. So you can see where this is going. He's never going to finish. He's not going to do it. And part of the reason is that it's so close to his heart, but it's close to his mind. It's like intellectually, this is an important thing. It's his baby. He's been working on this for a long time, but it's just not happening. So some of you know from my past presentations that I've had a program called How to Write Your Worst Book Ever. It's super fun. And truly, honest and truly, the goal is to write like a terrible book. And because when you write a terrible book, your humor like bubbles up and you let go. A lot like coming up here. In fact, that's my tip for table topics later. Come on up. Don't try to be funny. In fact, you can use my topic for your table topics tonight. Because my advice to Mr. Simplify guy was, let's write the opposite book. So you know exactly what you want to do. And he's so powerful about his idea. Oh, we need to simplify, and here's the reasons, 1, 2, 3, and oh, you got to do ABC as well. He knows the whole thing. But let's flip it on its head. And let's do the opposite, exact opposite. What exactly do you think I should not do? This book should definitely not be about that. And let's do that. And he's like, you're crazy. It's going to be a waste of time. Let me get back to my book. Let me get back to my editor number 4 and my publisher number 7 and year number 3 of working on this thing. And let me work through it. We all know where that's going. On the phone, within, I think, 10 minutes, we had a new title, which was called Complicate. And he had some subtitles, too, which was really good. I can't remember them exactly by heart, but it was something like, start your day off slow, add more complexity to every process in your morning, and then fall apart by afternoon, right? It was great. And as he's telling me this, this guy, he's like very serious professional guy, right? And he's like, yeah. And then, and fall apart by the afternoon. He's like, yeah, that's great. This is the most animated I've seen this guy in 2 years, right? He's like, well, the processes of the business, of the structure, of the analytics, of the statistics, oh my God, stop. And so when he talked about Complicate, he was lively. So for me, this is totally my cup of tea, of course, because I think, and again, this is where I'm kind of really speaking to you from the table topics perspective. If you come up here and you get a question from Jeroen to tell me, he's not going to ask this, don't worry. Tell me the history of France in the 18th century, right? You're going to say, I have no idea. But think opposite and do something totally different, right? And so I often get the question. I do do stand-up comedy and I do improv comedy in Amsterdam at Boom Chicago. And I often get the question, but Bradley, I'm not funny. How do I be funny? How can I'm not a funny person, like Mr. Simplify, right? He's like, I'm just not funny. But here's a simple trick to add humor to your presentations or to your book. So I really want him to write this book, right? I actually want him to go through the process. And we did. We made a cover, and his earlier cover was like this straight little arrow, simplify your processes, right? And so we had complicated. It was like total chaos. It was like arrows all over the place, total mess. And he had his big headlines with all these terrible things that were going to happen in your day. And we could not talk about it without laughing. And so with him, he's actually told clients, his fancy professional business clients, hey, I've got this book. It's called Complicate. And he cannot say it without laughing. And he breaks the ice with his clients. And they're like, that's kind of funny. It's kind of funny there, Mr. Serious Simplified Processes guy. That's kind of cool. I kind of like it. And so it breaks the ice for himself because he's like way too over professional about himself. And he can even break the ice with a potential client and land the deal. So this is my offer to you. It's funny as I think about this and I think about table topics tonight. This is my offer to you to, if you think you're not funny or you'd like to be funny, you'd like to have more humor in your presentations, in your work presentations, anything. Think about sort of flipping something on its head. And it's going to be hard for you because remember Mr. Simplify, right? Think about how hard it was for him to make that first step. But once he got over that hump, then he was just having fun. And I couldn't even stop him. Then he was out of control. And he'd come back our next call. He'd say, okay, I got a new chapter. Ready? Oh, God, I created a monster. But he had so much fun. And he finished that little thing. And he got done with it. And that's my goal now, is that he's got it sort of out of the way. And now he can go work on his real book. So I'm probably saving him years of his life. Just saying. But he's going to have fun. He's going to potentially break through with clients and get the thing done. So think about that in your table topics, in your speeches, in your books. Go for the opposite to bring a little more humor into your life, humor into your presentations. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bradley. So to do evaluation. So please use your ballot to provide some feedback for Bradley. And let's take a minute for that.